What's up, Trail Blues? Welcome back to CF Central and welcome to a new video which is called Tactical Lessons. Um, we have already discussed in my latest videos what Chelsea could have done. By the way, if you haven't seen them, just go on and check it out because I'm pretty sure you're gonna like them. But yeah, in this video, Tactical Lessons, we're gonna focus on what Chelsea could have done better and as I said on my last video, even if we had won 10-0, I think there's always room for improvement. But, well, that wasn't the case. We drew against Crystal Palace on the opening match for our new campaign at Stamford Bridge. And, yeah, it was an okay performance, but I think we could have done so much better. So, as I said on my last video, if you haven't checked it out, just go and check it because there's information useful for you to understand this video. Um, we were all expecting Marc Cucurella to invert into midfield, which is, I mean, 9 out of 10 matches what Enzo Maresca does with his team. But in this particular match, I think that was the problem. Let me show you why. As you can see here on your screen, it was the 20th minute of the game, and we can already see how packed the middle of the pitch is, with Cucurella alongside Moi Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez going up a little bit further. But you can see how tight the spaces are. And obviously, that's exactly what Crystal Palace wanted because yes, we could progress through the wings, but if we progress through the wings, we are further from goal, which is not as dangerous as progressing through the middle. So in this picture, you can see Trevor Chalobah with the ball, with no line for any pass into the middle. Moi Caicedo is blocked, Marco Gurella is blocked, and the only real option to progress is go sideways until we find some space. I mean, that's totally fine. But the thing is that up until the second half, you can see here on this other picture that it is the 71st minute of the match and we are still struggling to progress. So, well, I made a little animation for you to really understand what happened because I know this images don't really show what's happening on the entirety of the pitch, but yeah. Well, on here on this animation, you can see how Cucurella inverts, going alongside Moi Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez goes a little bit up to form this box that we all know. But at the same time, with this box, we gave Crystal Palace the opportunity to form their own box, which made the middle of the pitch packed and really difficult to progress. So the only real option to progress was the wings, with no real option for any viable pass through the middle. And I think that's why the game felt so slow, so sluggish, because we didn't have any real option to change the rhythm of the match to be quick enough to surprise Crystal Palace. And now you may be wondering, well, what could have been the alternative? And I said that in my last video that I was expecting Crystal Palace to you know just pack the middle of the field, the center, so that they could block our two best players on the field, which, well, on paper, which are, in my opinion, Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer. But there was a passage in the game going at the end of the first half and in the last 10 or 15 minutes of the game where we really saw Chelsea going for it, and I think it was all thanks to the width and the length that we used on those certain points of the game. let me show you a clear example of it. Here in this picture on the 38 minute, um, this is the ideal situation for me because you you can see we have a back three with Rob Sanchez, Josh, and Chalba, and Reece James is out wide on the right with Mark Cucurella out wide on the left. And you have probably not seen him, but this guy right here, Daniel Munoz, was really disturbing for Jamie Bino Gittens along the match, throughout the match. So I think if we had played the entirety of the game with that width and with that length, we could have forced Crystal Palace to go out and to make some decisions. Because Daniel Munoz in this picture is going out further, is going out of position to mark Mark Cucurella. And I also made this animation to show you what could have have happened if we play out with this width. Sanchez, Chalaba, and Achempawn forming this back three, which forces Matra, Ismail Azar, and Esse to go out. Or maybe they could just sit back, but I mean, that's already an advantage to us because we can gain some terrain, and we could probably shoot from outside of the box if they were to just drop dip and wait for us to make something happen. But as you saw on that image on the 38 minute, they were trying to press high. So if Sar is coming out, then Daniel Munoz is coming out to Marco Curella. But this position, I think, creates a huge gap in the middle of the field, which would allow Palmer to drop and to find some spaces. And most importantly, it would have forced Warthen or Hughes to make some decisions. Like if Palmer drops deep, and you can see how that's already beneficial to Joao Pedro because those gaps are opening up because Richards is pinned with Bino Gittens and Gay is pinned to Neto. I mean, they have to mark them because they are quick. This opens up really good spaces for Joao Pedro to attack. But the most important thing is right here. Warthen or Hughes, depending on which side of the field we decided to attack, they had to make a decision. Either go and mark Caicedo, which makes Palmer free, or if they drop deep and they mark Palmer because they know he's the most dangerous player in our squad, then Munoz would have some trouble taking or making the decision. Either do I go with Cucurella or do I go and chase Caicedo? So I think that was the key part of the game that we were missing, and that's why probably we didn't feel the spark on the attacking side of the match, because we couldn't force Crystal Palace to make some choices to really make things complicated for them. So yeah. And you know what happens when Moy Cancedo or Enzo Fernandez or Cole Palmer have space, and just a whole new set of opportunities just open up for us to keep on progressing further up the pitch. So yeah, well, unfortunately we drew. I lost my bet, but the most important thing is that we see that Josh Ashenpon is ready, and even though I wasn't all that happy with his performance, I think Jorel Hato could have come up, and Esteban could have started the game instead of Bino Gittens. But I mean, it's okay. I'm not the Chelsea manager. I'm not Enzo Maresca, and I'm not saying I'm better than him. No way, because the job that he has done has been incredible. But yeah, this is what I said was going to happen before the game, and since then, oh well, it just happened and we drew. But let me know, guys, what you think of this lessons learned after Crystal Palace, and hopefully we can see another tweak for the upcoming game against West Ham. Because even though West Ham lost, I think Ryan Parker is a great manager. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Let me know in the comments what you think of this lessons learned. If you would have liked to see something different on this on the pitch, and don't forget to support the channel and keep supporting Chelsea because this club is just amazing. Come on, you Blues!